today we continue with our class Halachos of Brachos. Today's class number 17. And we start with Sefer Chafetz Chaim. And the topic is admonishing the speaker. Let's see. The commandment of, the commandment, you shall reprove your fellow, Vayikran 19:17. So basically, if he does something right, we have to stop him, we have to tell him. Requires a Jew to inform the sinner that his behavior is improper and attempt to convince him to mend his ways. In voicing his disapproval, one must be prepared to endure embarrassment and insult and should continue to voice his disapproval as long as the forbidden act is being repeated. So this this mitzvah is reproof, is rebuke, basically, right? It's I would say one of the hardest mitzvahs, because people are full of pride, full of arrogance, and you tell them they did something wrong, like they take it personally. And they go personally against you. They do not even question what they did is wrong or right. They're not going to look it up or ask somebody. So they go against you as personally. But you have to continue, right? Voice your disapproval as many times as he's continued doing this, right? Even if one sees a little or no chance that his words will be heeded, he must nevertheless continue to protest. Only in a case where one knows that his reproof would cause the sinner to react by committing more serious offenses, is he to refrain from speaking up. So basically, whatever you say, and if he is going to provoke, if you know he's not going to listen to you, and he, as we said, he is going to take it personally and against you, I mean, what is the point? So the point is, the big, big picture is, so you try to sell to your fellow Jew, telling him that he is doing something wrong. That's the thing, right? And if he goes if he takes it the wrong way, so what is the purpose to continue? Reproof must be administered with respect and understanding, and should be done in a private whenever possible. So basically, one more time, we're not trying to embarrass him. We're not trying to insult him. We're trying to correct him to go in the ways of HaShem. That's all. Generally speaking, one is required to interrupt and reprove the speaker of Lashon Hara. So he's speaking Lashon Hara and about other people. You're trying to stop him, and I would say, from my experience, almost good luck with that. He's not going to stop. He's going to go, usually they go even stronger, right? Unless you tell something shocking. That's, in this case, they might lose the train of their thoughts, maybe. And do his best to ensure that he put a halt to his sinful speech. Okay. As mentioned, this does not apply when the speaker would likely react by expressing yet a greater negativity towards the person he was speaking about, as a way of defending his sinful talk. So basically, you tell you cannot talk about this guy like this. Said, oh, that's it. That's the minimum that I told you, but I'm going to tell you even more. Right? That's the issue. So do not provoke him, and there is no point for you to be there, basically. Continue. Another situation where the proof would be out of the places when. Okay, so continue. Okay, when number one, a speaker does not realize that information he's conveying is Lashon Hara. Okay, or is totally unaware that Lashon Hara is prohibited by the Torah. So basically, if he's ignoramus, he does not know. Second one, but first one, he does not know that it is Lashon Hara. He did not learn the laws of Lashon Hara. It is obvious that the speaker will continue speaking Lashon Hara even after being told that this is forbidden. Okay, so it's second one. In such a case, reproof without would transform the sinner, the speaker, from the inadvertent sinner into the one who sins intentionally. Hence, it is better not to reproof him. So if he's going to go and, I mean, from my experience, it's most of the time. So all of the people, as I said before, that's my experience, they like to be right. And there is no doubt in anybody's mind that they're wrong. I mean, that's it. It's only my opinion or wrong opinion, right? So it's not so easy. So unless you're talking to learned people and you learn together, and the person knows that you care about him, and when I reprove somebody, I will always care. I'm saying only because I care about you. All other people that I do not care, I don't reprove them. That's the sign. Okay. All right. So let's start. So we're going to Shulchan Aruch with Mishnah Berurah, and we're learning the Siman 168. It's very interesting Siman because we decided to go a little in depth, right? 68, and topic is over which bread is to make blessing. So we were talking about if it's whole, if it's was cut, if it was of refined flour, like flour with impurity and stuff like that. So continue, see if number 6. It's very interesting and it's well discussed a lot, and I think it's this topic that we're going to cover right now. It's people ask the most amount of questions, and in our class, and I think in general. So number 6, over snack bread, one should make a prior blessing, but name is snack bread. Okay, well, okay, let's see. And after he has eaten, is a single blessing which corresponds to the 3 blessings for after the meal. However, if one eats an amount of the snack bread out of which other people are accustomed to make a meal, then even though he is not satisfied from it, he must make over it the prior blessing, hamotzi, and after he has eaten the blessing of a blessing after the meal. So, I mean, just to summarize, because we're going to into it with details. So even if it is snack bread, but he's going to eat a lot, according to other people that they would make a meal out of it. So you have to make hamotzi. You have to go wash your hands and make hamotzi. Okay. If one originally intended to eat a little snack bread, and therefore made baremi zoines, and subsequently ended the quantity of snack bread out of which other people make a meal, he should make the blessing for after the meal over what he ate. Okay, even though he did not make the blessing hamotzi prior to the eating. Okay, continue. If one eats an amount of snack bread, so now usually it's mizonis. What is mizonis? We're talking about cookies. We're talking about cake, 100% mizonis. But since he eats a lot and it's a meal, so it becomes like a bread, like category of bread. We're going to explain all this. There are a lot of commentaries. If one eats an amount of snack bread out of which other people do not make the meal, then even though he does make a meal out of this amount, he should make only blessing baremi zoines prior to eating it, right? And the single blessing which corresponds to the 3 blessings for after the meal, after he has eaten. This is because his own attitude is of no consequence in these circumstances in the view of attitude of everyone else. Okay, so we finished. So basically, last part, just a summary because we're going to go. So from from the beginning. So last part says, in general, the general statement, that for example, that specific person, he very like tiny person, he weighs, I don't know, 50 kilos, right, 100 pounds. That's all. So he eats a little, just a little. So for him to be full and to have the whole meal, okay, beautiful. And to have the whole meal is actually a little, right? But for other people, for a guy like me, it was like that's it. You understand? Or for most of the people, it's not going to be sufficient. So it's not going to be considered as a meal. Okay, so not meal is baremina mizonos. Okay.
Question.
So good timing. So we start from the beginning with the commentary. So any questions, please ask me.
No, I have one.
Go ahead. You already, I mean, you didn't start. You have a question. Okay, go ahead, please.
So what if you don't eat hamotzi the whole day? Do you make grace after meal at the end of the day?
Okay, so let's. Okay, so you've been eating the whole day.
You are eating the whole day, everything, but not hamotzi. For example, today I made some beans. And what if the whole day, the only meal I have is these beans? I make do I make the grace after meals or not?
No. If you open your Siddur, maybe I bring my Siddur because I have art scroll. So maybe I mean Siddur meaning that you bought, like an electronic one, right?
Yeah.
Electronic. So let me get it. 1 second.
I think the number of page is the same, because the other day you say some number and I look and it was the same number.
So I'm back. 1 second. So if you, I'll tell you what page is it. I think it's after the morning blessings.
I can go through the menu to the blessing or by page. I enter the page.
No. You can go. It's after the morning blessings, right? And it's right everywhere. I think in our school it's after Birchas Hamazon. So I think it's a page 201 in your Siddur.
Page 201.
Yes. You have such a page or no?
Yes, it's by number or by menu. It's both ways of looking.
Okay, so let's leave it for now. I send you later. I don't want to spend time on it. So basically,
after others' food, page 201. It's say here.
201.
The three-faced blessing. That's at the page 201. Three-faced blessing.
Okay, so we have the different numbers. So you send me your what is it, table of contents, right? So with all of the pages, I am going to tell you exactly. So let's continue. So basically, if you ate only beans, so you make a short blessing, barene fashos, and that's it. So I'm going to tell you like offline, Yizrat HaShem. So now okay. So now we said or the snack bread. So there is some kind of snack bread. So what does it mean? So we call it bread and we call it snack. So bread is usually not snack, as we said before. Bread is usually the meal, right? Okay, so what does it mean? Number 23, Mishnah Berurah. Snack, okay. What this is explained in the succeeding paragraph, okay? Although in the case of ordinary bread, one must make the blessing of hamotzi, or however little one eats, or eats of it, and if one has eaten an olive bulk of bread, he is required to make the blessing for after the meal. These snacks bread have a different rule. Okay, so let's. It's a lot of information here. Let's understand. So we have, as we said before. So I'm going to tell you the pages, but now just concentrate on concept. We have three kinds of blessing for after the meal. One is when a person ate bread, right? He said this along Birchas Hamazon. Then if he ate mizoines, all of this like cookies, cakes, and stuff like that, or he ate the fruits that grow in Israel, like pomegranates, olives, grapes, figs, dates, other things, right? So he makes this blessing, and if he drank wine or grape juice, all of these three categories fall under the second blessing, right? And the third blessing for everything else. You ate beans, you ate candies, you ate chicken, you ate eggs, whatever you ate. There is no problem. So it's a shorter blessing. So now what he's saying, Mishnah Berurah is saying as follows, right? So he's saying, if it's a bread, 100% bread, so you make the blessing, doesn't matter how little it is. So basically, he's saying, even if it's only a few crumbs of bread, you still have to make the blessing of hamotzi, right? So, okay, and if he ate the 28 grams, meaning this kizayas, 28 grams is kizayas, so he has to say Birchas Hamazon. The minimum amount of the solid foods to make after blessing is 28 grams in maximum 9 minutes. Preferably, they say try to eat from 2-3 minutes. So 28 grams is not a lot, right?
28?
28 grams, yes. Yes. Yeah. In 2 to 3 minutes. So if you take only 2 beans, and 10 minutes later you say you ate another 2 beans or 3 beans or 5 beans, so it's not going to be. You understand? Okay. So it's not going to be counted. So in order to say the after blessing, the blessing after the meal, you need 2 conditions, right? You need, first of all, amount, and second is time. Got it? Okay, continue. So one more time. So I'd like it to be very clear. So if doesn't matter how much he eats, right? He has to say hamotzi. Doesn't matter. If you even few crumbs, he says the blessing of hamotzi. First of all. Second of all, right? If he ate kizayis, meaning 28 grams, he has to say blessing. For example, if it was bread, so he says Birchas Hamazon. If it was other foods, he says different blessings. Okay, so, but Mishnah Berurah says that's with regular bread. With the snack bread, we didn't give the description. We didn't give the definition yet. What is snack bread? So just bear with me. Okay, snack bread, different rule apply. This is because it is not usual for people to make meal out of them, but only to eat small amount of them as a snack. So basically, usually people don't make a meal out of like cakes, let's say. But this snack bread is not a cake. It's like cake, but we're going to see like with some filling inside, or some very, very sweet. Right, we're going to see. In a view of this, one must merely make blessing boremene mizoines on the snack bread over them prior to eating them, and after he has eaten them, the blessing which corresponds to the 3 blessings for after the meal. Okay. Unless he eats a quantity out of which people are accustomed to make a meal, in which case he must make the blessing hamotzi and the blessing for after the meal, since they are nonetheless bread. So let's try to understand what it says. Okay, first of all, we say that this is some kind of snack bread, which people usually don't eat a lot. We didn't give the definition. I mean, that's the first definition. Something people usually use as a snack, not as a meal. For a snack, but not for a meal. Second, we said that if he's going to eat a lot of it, a lot according to other people, a lot meaning that they would make a meal, complete meal out of it. Let's say this bread that we're going to give definition, and plus tea or coffee, and that's enough, and he's full, right? And the quantity that other people would accept as a meal. We're going to define this quantity also later on. Okay, just try to understand the concepts.
Other question.
Yeah, go ahead.
So isn't the grace after meal based also on how the level of satisfaction we have with the food?
You're right. So okay, so in Torah it says, and you will eat and you will be satiated. You're right, 100%. That's a part of the Birchas Hamazon. You're right, but it's only on a Torah level. Our rabbis added. So even if you eat only kazayas, even if you ate only 28 grams, we still say Birchas Hamazon.
So in the end, what if we only eat beans or rice or any other?
We don't say, we say different blessing.
Even if we are not satiated? Even if we are satiated?
In this case, it does not make any difference. So satiation is only on a biblical level. But on a rabbinical level, we're going only by quantity, which is 28 grams, and time, as we said, it's proper to finish in 2 to 3 minutes, according to all of the opinions, but up to 9 minutes. So if you finish your 28 grams of beans in 28 minutes, you would need to, in 9 minutes, you would need to say this blessing, after blessing. Not Birchas Hamazon, different blessing. We call it Bare Nefashos. I'm going to send you the text later on. Okay.
I think I have the Borei Nefashot, but I couldn't understand it because it was repeated twice. I don't know why it's that.
Twice?
Yes, there is a phrase that is repeated twice.
Oh yes. No,
I don't know why.
That's correct reading. Exactly. That's correct. Just continue reading. That's the text. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. So let's try to continue. So one more time, I'm going back to Shulchan Aruch. Over the snack bread, one should make the prior blessing, Baremine Mizoines. Right? So we say that the snack bread that he's going to eat less than the amount of the meal. A little bite, right? Maybe more than a little bit. And after he has eaten the single blessing. So this single blessing is called Al-Hamichia. Al-Hamichia. Okay. Which corresponds, so if he ate just a little of this mizoines bread, snack bread, right? He says baremine mizoines, right? And then he says the single blessing. In a single blessing, so meaning Alamihia, which corresponds to the 3 blessings. Why do they say 3 blessings? Because it's one blessing for 3 types of food. As we said, you said on all of the mizoines, all of the cakes, cookies, and etc. on the pasta, right? First of all, you say it on fruits that grown in Eretz Israel, like figs, dates, pomegranates, and olives, and I don't know if I missed something, right? And the third category that falls into this under this blessing is a wine or grape juice. Grape juice is considered wine also. Okay, so it's one blessing. It's longer than Borei Nefashos, but much shorter than Birchas Hamazon, basically. Continue. However, if one ate an amount of snack bread, so we don't say that is bread, we say call it snack bread, out of which other people are accustomed to make a meal, then even though he is not satisfied from it, he must make over it the prior blessing, hamotzi, and after the blessing, birchas hamazon. So basically, if you know, okay, this is snack bread, we're going to give the definition, right? What is snack bread? And now he's going to prepare, that's all he has, and he's going to make a meal out of this snack bread. So in this sense, it is a meal, and since in some sense it's still a bread, so he has to go wash hands and make hamotzi over the snack bread. And same we say about the cookies and cakes and crackers and all other things. So if he's going to eat so much, we're going to define how much later on. So he must treat this amount of misogynous products as 100% hamotzi. Understand? Okay, so let's continue. So now, and how much is this amount? So now we go by majority of the people. So maybe this guy is I don't know, he's 150 kilograms, right? 300 pounds, right? Big guy. So for him to get satisfied, he need to eat a cow, basically, right? So if he eat like 5-6 slices of this snack bread, it is not going to help him. But anyway, since other people would feel full, so we go, but majority of the people not by his stomach, basically. Okay, so let's see what Mishnah Berurah has to say. The Achronim write that if one eats snack bread by itself, then in order to be obligated to make the blessing hamotzi and the blessing for after the meal, he must eat quantity of it that others people usually satisfied by when they eat it by itself. Okay, so when we say satisfied by, meaning that they're going to eat only the snack bread. Of course, they might have a salad and coffee and this and that, but without salad and without coffee and without cheese and without other things. Only if this person is going to eat bread, how much he needs to eat in order to get satiated. Commentary. There is the amount which they would eat if they made the meal out of it, and not because the amount which would satisfy them completely. Okay, so meaning even if they're not going to like a big satisfy completely, but it's a meal. So sometimes you ate a meal and you're still hungry, and you would get something else. But it's extra. It's not your meal. So you plan your meal. That's how much I'm going to eat, and all other things are extra. Okay. So one more time, we go by majority of the people that they would consider a meal, not necessarily that they're going to be satiated. Like not everyone would be satiated, but it's going to be considered a meal. Okay. Continue. If one eats snack bread with meat and other articles that are usually eaten together with bread, it is then sufficient if one eats an amount that other people are usually satisfied by when it is eaten together with the other articles as well. So here's what Mishnah Berurah said. That's so we started from the point that we're going by the opinion of most of the people, what is the meal is going to be, and now he switched gears, right? If one eats the snack bread, I'm going to read again, with the meat. So now it's not only snack bread. So in definition we said if these other people would eat only snack bread, it's going to be minimum amount, right? But we now said no, he's going to eat snack bread with something else. So I mean that's definition of bread. You eat bread with all other things, right? If one eats snack bread with meat or other articles that are usually eaten together with bread, it is then sufficient if he eats an amount that other people are usually satisfied by, if it is eaten together with other articles as well. So, for example, if he eats a piece of chicken and he eats it with 3 slices of bread, even though it's not enough for a meal, but it is enough to be satiated with this piece of chicken. So this is it. However, if one eats snack bread by itself, but snack bread usually, snack bread you eat by itself. That's the definition of the snack, right? So if you eat with other things, it's you put it in a category. In use of regular bread, right? That's what it is. However, if one eats snack bread by itself, and the amount he eats satisfies him, but it would not satisfy other, if they ate it by itself, although they would also be satiated if they ate it together with other articles, we do not contend that his own attitude to this amount is of the consequence, and he must therefore make the blessing hamotzi, and the blessing for after the meal. Let me explain it. It's we said it before, but in the Shulchan Aruch, but Mishnah Brura explained it like in his own words. Okay, so we said here's the situation. So if he is going to eat these 3 pieces of bread with piece of chicken, and that's what usually people do, we're talking about snack bread, some sweet, some other things, right? So in this case, we consider it 100% hamotzi, and he has to wash his hands and say birchas hamazon, right? Now, second scenario, what he says here, that he eats snack bread, and he is satiated, snack bread only, without anything, and he's satiated, right? And let's say we're talking about 3 slices. He ate 3 slices of this snack bread, and he's full. That's it. I'm full. I don't want to eat anything else. And other people, and he is like a person who does not eat much. And this same 3 slices, other people would eat with chicken, this piece of chicken, and they would satiate. Would be so for them. It is a meal, right? For him, it's a 3 pieces of this slice, 3 slices of snack bread. So Mishnah Brura said we do not go by his opinion. We go by opinion of a majority of the people that in order to get satiated, you need to eat 5 slices without chicken, without anything. So for 5 slices of this snack bread, according to all of the other people, and 3 people and 3 slices only if you eat something else. So in this case, even though he's satiated from 3 slices, he still make mizoinos. So he treat the mizoinos and does not make hamotzi, does not make birchas hamazon. Understand or no?
No.
Huh?
A question.
Go ahead.
So that's because you mentioned bread and meat, for example, but the question is, does kosher bread has kosher milk in its ingredients?
I didn't get the question. So kosher bread and kosher meat?
Has kosher bread has kosher milk in its ingredients?
Usually we don't. In our paskim said, do not make a milk bread. Do not make a bread with milk. Why? Because you made a big bread, and you in the morning, you remember you ate it with yogurt, with other things, no problem, right? But you might get to eat it with meat, because it's normal for people to eat bread with meat. So that's why they say don't do it, or do it in a small pieces like that you're going to finish in one meal, and that's it. So we don't make big bread with milk, never.
So that's it means that if you eat if you eat cake, then you cannot eat meat.
If usually in all of the recipes, for example, that my wife uses, we don't never use milk, never. We have only one stove. Some rich people have two stoves. We have one stove. So we cannot make meat and milk in the same stove. So there's no place to basically to bake this bread. If you have two stoves, you can have milk stove and meat, but we have only one. So we do parev. Parev meaning like bread and other things, right? Not meat things or meat. So for 24 hours we wait and we do meat. That's it. So it's very simple. You don't have the opportunity. That's it. Yeah.
But isn't cake made out of milk and egg?
Of course you can. That's in many recipes, in many non-Jewish recipes. You write 100%. If you want the best tasting cake, you write 100%. You eat. You put milk and you put butter, 100%. But we don't use this. We use a special vegetable butter.
Oh, so kosher cake does not have.
So never milk. We use water.
Wow.
Yeah. I mean, if you go into the Jewish bakeries, of course they would sell the milk product and stuff like that. But even if my wife could bake, there's no place to bake. You understand? So it's very simple. And our poskim say, do not make milk bread. Guess what? Unless people don't eat meat, for health reasons, for other reasons, right? So because for sure, guarantee you're going to eat it with meat, guarantee. So they say don't do it. But today, I mean, if you have different stoves and stuff like that, even these different stoves do not help. Okay. So good questions. Continue. Any other questions or continue? So basically, basically one more time, we didn't give the definition yet of this snack bread, but we continue. We're going to give the definition. So now, with respect to the Eruv Tavshilin, it is stated in section 368, we're going to get to it, probably not, that the quality of bread, which has a bulk of 3 or 4 eggs, is regarded as a meal. Okay, so let me go back and we understand, because there are many very interesting, very important ideas. I'm not sure where to start. So, okay, so we have this concept, right? It's a rabbinical mitzvah. We have 7 rabbinical mitzvahs, right? 7. So one of them, we said before, it's wash the hands before the meal. One of them. Another one is the Eruv Tavshilin. So Eruv Tavshilin is halachic mechanism that would allow you to cook on Yom Tov for the next day. This day may be another second day of Yom Tov, or maybe Shabbos. So what does it mean? There is halacha for Shabbos or Yom Tov. You're not allowed to prepare on a holiday for a weekday, or on one holiday for another holiday. You understand? So if it's decree of the sages, they would not institute it, so people would say, look, today Shabbos, I'm not working, so let me cook for the whole week. Right? Even if cooking is forbidden, it's a different story. But let's say on Yom Tov. On Yom Tov, the cooking is allowed. You can cook Yom Tov. You can go slaughter the chicken and start cooking from the beginning. There is no problem whatsoever. Right? But even on Yom Tov, they say you're allowed only to cook whatever you need for this day. You can cook a little extra if you don't know, maybe guests are coming, maybe not coming, maybe they want to eat extra, so that's a different story. So it's not counted, it's still counted as one day. But you cannot cook if there are like only 2 or 3 people in the family, like big pot that would last for 7 people for the next for 10 days. I mean, it's obvious that you prepare for a weekday, right? So in order to allow us to cook, for example, if if the holidays, and it was like maybe 3 years ago, like all of the holidays were Thursday, Friday, and Shabbos. So basically on Shabbos, it says that you have to prepare like nice and fresh food, right? So if you cook everything on Wednesday, so basically you're not going to have any fresh food on Shabbos. That's understandable. It's already like three days, right? If you cook on Wednesday during the day, during the day, right? So Tuesday, so it's like 3 or 4 days ago, this food. So in order to allow us to cook the food, they say that we're going to Erev Tavshelim. So Erev Tavshelim is what? Is a thing that you say, I cook this challah, small challah, let's say, and I cook this egg. I bake this challah and I cook this egg, and I'm going to use it, and I'm going to eat them on Shabbos. Let's say this challah and this bread, I'm going to eat it on Shabbos. And it's like I started the process of cooking before Shabbos, even though today is only Wednesday, but I started before Shabbos, and I'm going to continue, and I'm allowing myself to continue on Thursday, which is first day of Yom Tov, and Friday, the second day of Yom Tov. So I'm not starting new process. I continue what I already started. It's same way that it is allowed, as we say, we can turn on the light on Shabbos and leave it open, right? You can, you're not doing anything actively in some sense, so you can draw a parallel. So basically you started the process before, but here it's a little different because you're actively going to do something else. So that's the concept of Erev Tavshelim. So all of the rabbis, they will remind you in the synagogue and everywhere, they're going to remind you 7 times, maybe more, not to forget to do Erev Tavshelim. They send you email and text message, whatever that, because it's very important. Because you're not allowed to cook food on Shabbos, or on Yom Tov for Shabbos, or on one day of Yom Tov to a second day of Yom Tov. So whatever you need, you can cook on that day, or there are other like ways how we can do that. Okay, so that's a concept of Erev Tavshelim.
I have a question about the challah.
Okay.
Can you bake challah, or only women are allowed to bake a challah?
No, anybody can bake challah. Anybody.
So here, if I am living alone, can I try to bake a challah?
Sure, absolutely, no problem. So in most of the bakeries, only men are working. Maybe women they sell that, but you have to be strong. These ingredients are very heavy, especially in commercial bakeries. They're heavy. This sack of flour and stuff like that, and you have to move dough from this place to another. Even though they have mixers, commercial mixers, but still, this is very, very difficult job, right? Okay, so anybody can bake challah. Okay, continue. And okay, continue. One is forbidden on Shabbos or Yom Tov to go beyond the 2,000 cubits in any directions. Okay. What is the difference on any directions? 1 second. Maybe what I explained is not 100%. 1 second. 1 second. No, Erev Tavshelim, no, I explained correctly. 6:54. So you can check in your city later. 6:54. Erev Tavshelim. Let me see. 6:54. I want to make sure that I told you the right thing. Yeah, that's Erev Tavshelim. Okay, no problem. Okay, so continue. So one more time. One is forbidden on Shabbos or Yom Tov to go beyond the 2,000 cubits in any direction from the place where one is residing at the inception of Shabbos or Yom Tov. So, okay, if one resides in a town, this distance is measured from the end of the town. The end of the 2,000 cubits limit is known as TIKKUN Shabbos. To be able to go beyond the TIKKUN on Shabbos or Yom Tov, one must make an Eruv by placing sufficient food for 2 meals in a spot which is within the TIKKUN, but is further out in direction where he needs to go. This spot is then regarded as a place of residence on Shabbos, and may therefore walk 2,000 cubits beyond that spot. Okay, so let's try to understand what it says here. There are many different and very interesting concepts that we're going to introduce today. So first of all, we have this concept TIKKUN Shabbos. TIKKUN Shabbos meaning how far you can walk from the place where you're staying for Shabbos. So basically, if it's in a town, you can walk in one town. If it's a large town, for example, where I live, to go to from where I live to the end of the town, maybe I don't know, 5 hours, 4 hours, like a very, very far away, right? But it's still there's no desecration of Shabbos. I mean, maybe it's not respect of the Shabbos, but basically there is no problem. You can walk these 4 hours because it's the same town. But from the end of the town, right? From the end of the town, you are allowed to walk only 2,000 cubits. What is 2,000 cubits? It's approximately 1 kilometer. In miles, it's 0.6 miles, plus minus, right? So basically, that's all. So if you live on the outskirts of the towns, that's all you can walk. So how does it play a role? Like, what is the difference? So we have few famous bridges in New York. I live in New York. So there is Brooklyn Bridge. So Brooklyn Bridge, I didn't measure, but people measure. So it's less than 1 kilometer, meaning that people from Brooklyn can go to Manhattan. There are many schools in Manhattan, so if they want to visit somebody, so they can walk and get to Manhattan. But there is one longer bridge that they call George Washington Bridge. It's from New Jersey to Manhattan again, right? So it's longer. So basically, if people want to walk from New Jersey to Manhattan, what they need to do, and that's what I heard people are doing. So before they come to the end of this 2,000 amos, right? So less than 2,000 amos. Actually, they have to create a spot where they were going to start food for 2 meals. Okay, food for 2 meals, and then it's going to be considered residence. So minimum we have to eat 2 meals. Okay, the proper 3 meals, but okay, let's say 2 meals, because Friday he already ate, correct? So now he has only 2 meals, Shabbos morning and Seudah Shlishi, 2 more meals. So if he put in some place, let's say that somewhere he hides in a bag somewhere on this George Washington Bridge, this amount of bread equal to 2 meals, unless animals, birds are going to eat it. So basically he can continue walking. Because why? Because it's his place of residence. Okay, in some sense. All right, so that's that's not, we're not learning about this Eruv, we're not learning about this TIKKUN Shabbos. We're trying to derive what is it the minimum, what is it this amount of meal of bread that people would eat. That's what we're trying to arrive to.
And is this for Yom Tov and Shabbos or for only Yom Tov?
I said no, for Yom Tov one also. The difference between Yom Tov and Shabbos, they're like very, very. The difference is very small. So on Yom Tov you can cook, you can make fire from a pre-existing fire, right? From we leave a candle, 24-hour candle. And from this candle you can light other candles, right? So you can cook and you can carry. So even there is no Eruv, so you can carry, you can take your book, take your towels, take whatever you need to somebody else's house. There is no problem. That's basically 2 differences. All other things are the same.
And about the bridge, isn't an issue to walk over water during Shabbat?
No, bridge, no. People spend the Shabbos on a ship, right? On a ship, like a big cruise ship. There is no problem. Or a commercial ship. Jews go. They did all the commerce all the years, right? There is no problem. Okay, so continue. It should, however, be noted that there is an obvious mistake in the Mishnah Brura, and the word TIKKUN has been added in error, since the ruling in 368 is actually referring to the Eruv, which makes it permissible for people to make who resides in the common courtyard to carry from the house to the courtyard, and from one house to another in the same courtyard. Such as Eruv is made by placing sufficient bread of 2 meals in one of the houses, exactly as we explained, right? So in one of the houses, or they connected, where there are 18 or more people involved. Okay, so you need a community of at least 18 people. Okay, so continue Mishnah Brura, this sentence from the beginning. Now, with respect to Eruv Tavshilim, Tehumim. So it's a Tehumim, but actually Tavshilim. Okay. Okay. It is stated in section 368, paragraph 3, that the quantity of bread which has a bulk of 3 or 4 eggs is regarded as a meal. So that's the answer. So all of this was said only to see like what does it mean, the amount of bread for 2 meals. So the amount of bread for 2 meals, they say 3 or 4 eggs regarded as a meal. Okay. Several Achronim state that the same ruling applies in our case. Okay, so we're trying to find out how much bread is normally eaten. What is the meal? What is the definition of the meal? Several Achronim state that the same ruling applies in our case, and we regard this quantity of snack bread as being the amount out of which one makes a meal. Okay. However, several other Achronim, the Gra among them, disagree with this comparison. They have the opinion that one should not make the blessing hamotzi, or the blessing for after meal, over the snack bread unless he eats as much as one would eat in a regular evening and morning meals. So commentary. It should be noted that in former times it was customary to eat only 2 regular meals daily, one in the morning and one in the evening. Okay. As stated by Beis Yosef in the name of Shebalei Leket. So we see two opinions. So one opinion is that we should go by the Eruv. Whatever they say in the Eruv is a minimum requirement, that's what we must do. Second opinion, he said no. Second opinion is a Gra. He said no. We go by what usually people eat, right? And they eat in the morning and in the evening. That's we don't go by the Eruv standards. I have likewise discovered the Eshkol, that it is clear in the Eshkol that it's clear that the author is of the opinion that the word of Shulchan Aruch is also more inclined to this interpretation, meaning, as we said before, what people usually eat, not what they make Eruv from. Nevertheless, initially, it is desirable to take into account the view of the stringent authorities and avoid eating the bulk of the 4 eggs for the snack bread. So commentary. There is the avoided bring oneself into situation when one will have to make the blessing that is considered to be wrong blessing by several Achronim. One should therefore eat either less than the bulk of 3 or 4 eggs, right? Or the amount that one eats in a regular evening or morning meal. So since there are two opinions, so we say don't go by lenient opinion. Don't eat 100% less than lenient opinion, or go so to satisfy both opinions. So as we said, one opinion is 3 to 4 eggs. So the definition of the egg is 2 kizaisim, right? So one kizais we said is 28 grams. So it's 4 times 28. Okay. That's what people eat. 1 second. Number 9. Okay. This certainly applies if it is doubtful whether or not the bread is in question in the fact classed as a snack bread halachically. So here we go. So if he has a doubt whether this bread that he eats, maybe it's snack bread, so that's when he has to be careful. If there is if it's regular bread, so he does not have to eat that much in order to say Birchas Hamazon. It's, as we said before, 1 kizais is enough. Although it is stated in paragraph 7 that one should act leniently in such a case and treat the bread as a snack bread, if he's not sure, so let's treat it as snack bread. One should at any rate be sure to take into account view of the stringent authorities mentioned above in a case of the sub-paragraph, and avoid eating the bulk of the four eggs, right? Eggs or bread. So as we said, okay, so there are 2 opinions. I'm not sure if you can finish it today. Oh, time is up. Okay, so let me just finish maybe one more comment. So there are 2 opinions. One opinion is we go exactly as an Eruv. Eruv, let's say 4 eggs, right? So eggs is 56 grams, right? 56 grams. One opinion, and second opinion, no, we go by what people usually eat. Like majority of the people, they would say they would be satiated if they eat only bread without any other things. Okay, so let's see. So the Mishnah Berurah say, don't put you like in this questionable situation. Eat for sure that it's going to be according to stringent opinion or less than a lenient opinion. So one more time the sentence, and we're going to start. So it says, however, if one eats amount of snack bread out of which other people are accustomed to make a meal, so that's the first opinion, then even though he's not satisfied from it, he must make over the prior blessing, over the prior blessing of Hamotzi, even though, as we said, for him it's not enough because he's a big guy, right? He has to say Hamotzi because other people would eat it as a whole meal. And after that, after he has eaten it, the blessing of after the meal. So commentary, meaning Mishnah Berurah, he must also wash his hands just as he must do when he eats proper bread, as said in section 158. So we're going to stop here. Of course, we did not finish this halacha. It's very involved, Baruch HaShem. And that's it. So we're going to give you the definition of the snack bread later, another time. So any questions on any subject, please go ahead.
Oh, I have a few questions here. What if you eat an apple less than 28 grams of weight?
Nothing.
You don't make any blessing there?
No. You're not allowed to make any blessing. If you make a blessing, it's going to be blessing in vain. Don't do it.
Okay. How many people are the minimum to establish a Jewish community in a city in diaspora?
I don't think there is a minimum, but you see, the thing is that a person has to go to the synagogue or at least somewhere. It doesn't have to be like big synagogue. It could be in somebody's apartment. So for example, there are many synagogues where, I mean, not where I live, but in Muncie, in Lakewood, in like all of the towns, right? That people have big like private houses, right? And have basements. So, and they converted these basements into either half of the basement into synagogue. So people from around who live around come to this basement. So it does not have to be like, but he said, but in this basement, they keep the Sefer Torah. So in order to read, as we learned in our class, in order to read from the Sefer Torah, you must have 10 people. So if you have only 10 people, not a good idea. Somebody gets sick, somebody's late, he went to work early, like late, or what are you going to do? So I'm not sure if it's like specific number, if you ask, looking for a specific number, but people, I mean, the people move. Jews migrate, always migrate. And since Baruch Hashem, many have big families, so they cannot stay in the same neighborhood. They have to grow. And the non-Jews understand what is going on, and they skyrocket the prices, right? So 5 blocks from here is one price, but but next to the Jewish neighborhood, it's like 3 times small. You understand? And they're not stupid. They're taking advantage.
So maybe
people don't make much money, so they have to migrate. They have to go somewhere else. Go ahead, son.
So maybe it's also based on having a synagogue with a Sefer Torah to have a community.
You see, we have a problem here in some communities that like there is like a small like township, and they do not allow building synagogues. Whatever is it, they would put like the government, the local government, have to give you a permit. In order for example, you bought a house and you want to knock it down, for example, and you want to build a synagogue instead of they're not going to give you a permit because the city council, all of these wicked people, they would not allow. So, but nobody can not allow me to have people in my house. You understand? So people can come to my house and pray. Is it called synagogue? No, it's my house. I have friends. To this non-Jew, they come and watch football, right? They drink beers. So to me, they come and read the books. What's the problem? What's the difference, right? They cannot forbid it. But so it's not anti-Semitism here is on the rise. Don't think it's they like Jews so much.
And the other thing is, can you use electricity if you see other people using technology on Yom Tov?
No, on Yom Tov, as we said, on Yom Tov is like Shabbos. So if you turn on some like lights or air conditioner or whatever you turn on before Shabbos, there is no problem. Continue using.
Yeah, but I'm talking about smartphones.
No, you cannot. So basically, when I talk to people, I tell other like not religious people, like I say, can you imagine you turn off your phone? So when the scenario that I gave you, when Yom Tov is Thursday, Friday, and Shabbos for 3 days. 3 days. So because I have many reminders, and then sometimes I leave people message and it's shut off because a reminder kicked me out. Right, I have to continue recording from another. Right, everybody I think experienced it. I have many reminders. I have to shut off completely. You understand? So for 3 days, nothing. So you devoted to spirituality. You have no choice but to read books. You understand? I mean, for other people, I like to read books. I love I love the situation that I don't need to check messages. You understand? All other days I'm under the pressure. I have so many messages and people waiting, people asking the question. do this, do that, read this, what should I do in this? Now they know I'm not there. I'm not there. You understand? So for me, it's a big relief.
What if you see that lots of people are using their smartphone on Yom Tov?
That's a
Can you
big
follow
problem.
them?
That's a big serious problem. So some time ago, I mean, I'm not following this, but some time ago, I remember, I don't know, some Rasha said that there is no problem. So they said that texting it's not electricity. And for some teenagers, girls, right? They got so addicted, maybe boys also, but I heard about girls, since the family that I was talking, they had teenage girls. Right? All of them are so addicted in texting. So for them, it's like if they don't have a phone, they are ready to die. If she cannot find her phone, like 12 years old, 14 years old, she can have a heart attack. You understand? She can flip out on the whole family. That's how people. I mean, if Jewish girls are so attached, I cannot even imagine about the non-Jewish girls that how they attach to their phones. You understand? So you're right that's exactly is going on. And I was passing by one shul, and they have this sign next to the entrance, right? They say texting on Shabbos is absolutely forbidden. But seriously, it's not like one girl or one woman did. No. If they put a big sign, it means like it's seriously like serious craziness.
But maybe people say that it's not Shabbos, it's Yom Tov. Why not?
No. But everybody knows that the rules are exactly the same. The rules are exactly so. You can light the candles, for example, on after the first day of Yom Tov, you have to light the candles for the second day of Yom Tov. But how can you light? You're not allowed to light. No, they say you are allowed to light from pre-existing flame. So we keep this candle, 26 hours candle, and we light from that candle. That's it. It burns. That's it.
So you will get punished if you follow other people that are religious and they are.
They are not religious. They might look religious. So you have to understand what you're asking me. I'm going to turn this question a little. Right? What you asking me? If everybody's drinking the poison, if I drink the poison with them, and I'm going to survive because I'm a nice guy, no, you're going to die. Guess what? Just because the masses are doing things does not make it permissible. You understand? So people, unfortunately, that's a big issue.
Two questions, I think now. Is it that in the Messianic millennium the fruits are going to grow bigger?
The what is going to grow bigger?
The fruits are going to grow
in the Messianic era when Mashiach comes.
Yes.
I have not. I'm not sure. I mean, it used to be. It says in the Talmud Sota in the end last chapter. I think it's last chapter. They say after this rabbi died, that this we had these changes, and I don't remember after one name, the fruit lost their taste in the whole land of Israel. I mean, if you go there, they're tasty. So you can imagine, or you cannot imagine how beautiful they were when this person was alive and when we had the basic English, basically.
Okay. The question is the final question. I think. How much time do you have to say the after food blessing over bean soup?
Bean soup. What kind of blessing you need to say?
How much time do you have to make it?
Oh yeah. Okay.
Time frame.
So so if you I would say like if you're not satiated, I mean after soup you cannot be full. I mean you satiated somewhat, but soup is usually not enough, right? So if you ate soup, I would say half an hour. Half an hour. That's it. So after half an hour, don't do it. So if you forgot, for example, and you're not sure, you didn't check time. You're not sure it's a half an hour or maybe a little less, a little more. So don't do it. So I would say just eat something else or drink something else on which you would have to make an amount that you will need to make the after blessing. And keep in mind, it's for this tea, for example. I'm making blessing now for this tea and soup that I ate some time ago. So if it's still time, if it's still under 30 minutes, let this tea cover the soup. If it's not, so I'm making only on after blessing on the tea. That's it.
Okay.
That's the first. Okay. Thank you very much. I apologize. It's a little technical, this thing, but it's we need to know all of these details. I mean, in order to derive right conclusion. And most of the people make this mistake with Mizoin as well, as we're going to see. HaShem. All right. Thank you. Good night.
Good night.
Until what? Until Monday morning. HaShem. Thank you. Good night.